You could be anywhere else right now. You could be anywhere in the universe of YouTube or any other podcast if you're just listening to the audio version, which is available, by the way, if you search for it. If you don't want to watch the audio, if it's easier for you to listen to this, you could be anywhere else right now, anywhere else in the world, anywhere else in the universe of YouTube or any other audio podcast. But you chose to click this for some reason, or you stumbled across it. And I am grateful for that. And I want you to always know that, dear listener, dear viewer, that I, DeMarcos Hopkins, a.k.a. Mark, a.k.a. Marquois de Sade, will always be grateful for you. Now, I got that out of the way. I wanted to just share with you a memory that I was having the other day. This little memory that I had. I don't know what brought it up. Maybe I was thinking about the past, thinking about my past jobs, the past occupations that I've had to toil and bleed and sweat for just to make money in our beautiful America here, our capitalist utopia. It's not perfect, but you know, it's what we like here. It's what we know. It's what we're comfortable with. We're comfortable with the jobs that we do because it gives us something to do when we wake up. We don't have to think. We don't have to make decisions. It eliminates decision fatigue. You know what you're going to wear already. You have your uniform. You know where you're going to be at 4 a.m. And you know what you're going to be doing at 1 p.m. when you get off of work. That was my old schedule. You know, instead of using the old cliche 9 to 5, which it's never 9 to 5, but everybody knows what we're talking about when we say the old 9 to 5, right? So mine was a 4 to 1, and it was comfortable to know where I was going, and I was able to silence the voice of God, aka the flow state, otherwise known as the muse, the creative flow, the place where you get the ideas from, the place where creativity comes from, the best things that you are excited about to create come from that place. And I would always silence that voice through my jobs, through these. At the beginning of my life, of my work life, it was the retail jobs. And during those jobs, I would make music and write songs, but I didn't do it as a profession. And I used the retail world as my profession. That was the place that I made money, and that was what allowed me to not take my creativeness to the next level, to not progress and take the ultimate risk and do the great work that only I could do, right? There's a great work that only you and every other individual can do in their lives, and that is to follow the will and to hear the voice of God. I'm not talking about the 10 Commandments and all of those type of things, organized religion. I'm talking about the voice that we all have within. I didn't mean for this to be a serious talk, so I might have to interject with some trollery. I might have to interject with some trollery just to spice things up so that you don't think that I'm such a serious, boring boomer of a man. Because, you know, there are men in their 30s who have become boomers. You've seen the meme, the 30-year-old boomer, right? 30-year-old boomer goes to the gym. If you haven't seen that, look those up. Those are pretty funny, actually. After you watch this, though, you could pause this, watch that, and then come back here. Because I got a story to tell you, just little memories I was having. And for some reason, it conjured up this whole struggle that I've had my whole life with trying to silence the will, you know, trying to not do what thou wilt, not following the law, which is do what thou wilt, right? That is the law. That is the only law, because that's the purest law, because it comes from within your own heart, your own soul, your own brain, your own connection to creativity or to the universe, or as I like to say, to God. I don't have a problem calling it God. There are a lot of things attached to the word God, but I don't have a problem with that, because I know in my life the differentiation between that. So I would always block my connection and work these jobs, and I really was miserable working these jobs. I knew I wasn't supposed to be there, but I chose to be there, and I chose that as my profession, as a way to make money. So I was there. It was my fault that I was miserable. And within that hell, that level of hell, it wasn't that bad, there was cool people there, but there were also people that weren't so cool. And this is where the story comes in. I was working at a big box retail store. I'm not going to say the name of it. People of you that know me personally and are listening to this, you know where it was. But I don't want to do free advertisement for them, because fuck them. I don't shop at their store anymore. I go to the competitor's store. And I wasn't fired from there. I decided to quit. And it was a long time coming, and I knew that I wasn't supposed to work those kind of jobs. And yet I did. I knew the place I worked before that, which was Kmart. I worked at Kmart. That was my first major job as a teenager, I was still in my teens when I got my job at Kmart. But even back then, I knew that I wasn't supposed to do that, because I had been making music for years before that, recording. And I knew that I was supposed to be creative. I knew that I was supposed to write and do those things, and I would always avoid them. Anyways, back to the story. There were cool people, a lot of cool people. Most of them were cool people that I met. Just regular people trying to make a living, right? In the old 9 to 5. One of them, there were some that weren't cool, right? I remember those guys too. One of them wasn't cool. And he was they used to call them department managers, right? So he oversaw a certain section of this place that I used to work. I'm going to try to remember not to name the place or name the guy, I don't want to call him. He's just a regular guy. I don't want to call him out. It's not like he's a celebrity that we can all make fun of. He's just a regular guy, so. But this guy, this manager, would pretend to be, he was like I think he lifted weights and stuff, and he tried to portray himself as a man's man, and he would try to be chummy and talk to us and be cool with us. When I say us, I mean the crew that I worked with. We pretty much ran the store. And we, I don't know how much details I should share. I don't know how many details I should share with you. So I'm just going to say this. I worked with a crew of guys, the same crew of guys every day of my schedule. And we did a certain job in that store. And people either loved us or hated us or tried to use us, and this guy was one of those guys that would try to use us. So he was unprofessional though. He wasn't like it's his job to try to use us to get his, to fix his department up. Right. But it's unprofessional to try to act like you're cool with us, to be like you're one of us, you're one of the man's men. That's what we were. We were the man's men. It sounds pretty gay, but it's not. I'm talking about the classical man's man. That's like a hardworking guy. You can't mess with him. He's tough. Other men respect him. Ladies want to be with him. Men want to be him. That was my crew. Everybody wondered how much money we made. I don't know why they thought that we made more money than them. That's what was kind of funny. And they would ask, some people would say, you guys probably make a lot of money, right? And I would go along with them and be like, yeah, we do. I can't even tell you how much, and it would just make them more curious or jealous, And so I would just play along with that. And we didn't make much more than them, probably made less than a lot of people, especially the department managers. But this guy, this department manager, would try to be cool with us, try to be friends, and try to show us how much of a man he was. This is the kind of guy that would wear a plaid shirt in his social media profile, standing in front of a cabin. There's a little clue for you. Anybody personal, anybody that used to work with me, you probably know who I'm talking about. A little mystery there, a little inside mystery there for you. For the insiders, if you're not an insider, you should become one. Somebody in the inner circle of this show of Scroll Sessions. It's possible. Don't ask me. Those are the powers that be. You got to go to the powers that be. You got to connect with yourself before you become an insider of this show. That's how deep it goes. We got roots, dark roots deep underground. The places where the sun is afraid to go, where the sun has trouble finding. And if you want to go to a dark place like that, baby, you got to put in work. Anyways, back to the story. So this guy, this shithead, would try to be friends with us, and then he would try to manipulate one or two of the guys to come and fix up his department and do what needed to be done to make it look better, or even to do some of the tasks that he was allotted, some of the tasks that were on his list, the things that he was supposed to do and that he was supposed to delegate to his employees of that department, of that section of the store. And he wouldn't want to do that. He wanted to boss us around instead of to boss his own guys around, his own people. And some of the upper management would let him get away with this, and people like him, and some of them wouldn't, because they'd say, hey, they got their own job to do. This isn't their job. This is your job. This is your responsibility. So there was always this constant war like that. And I like that. I like being the underdog, the rebel, because I knew I wasn't supposed to be there anywhere. So anyways, so I would find ways to bend the rules, the laws, and to be just as badass as possible. Because that was my character. And plus, I wasn't supposed to be there. Okay? So I was just trying to create order out of chaos. Order that I controlled from the chaos that I created. It's an old Illuminati trick. And it's an old trick that they're using on us right now. So, he was, this manager was a cool guy, But behind the scenes, he would snitch us out. He would say we didn't do the job we're supposed to do. He was trying to get control over us, And we would hear about it, of course, through the gossip and through the channels. And then we would get in trouble. Some of us would get written up because this guy said we weren't doing our job. It just depended on whatever manager wanted to believe his bullshit. But this guy, this is where my story comes in of why I remembered this guy, was that I would wear shorts in the summertime, and you were allowed to wear shorts if they're a certain color. The dress code, they had to be like, I think you could wear tan or blue shorts or black or something like that. There was only a couple colors that you had to choose from. But I wore shorts, and then he was talking about me behind my back, and he's like, why is Mark wearing shorts? Is he just trying to show his legs off? And I was like, I remember thinking, like, it blew my mind, because it got back to me. All the things people would say would always get back to me, of course, But he was talking amongst a group of people or whatever, gossiping in the break room or whatever it is during lunch break. I don't know. But one of my friends, or one of my loyal subjects, overheard him and told me the story. And it blew my mind. I was like, this tough guy, this man's man, this guy that lifts weights, this guy who's eats meat. This guy who's a real bro, This guy who's always trying to compliment us and tell us how cool we are and things. That tries to be friends with us, but we always get in trouble because of him. Oh, that same weak ass bitch is talking about he's worried about why another man is wearing shorts. Can you believe that? Can you believe a guy like that would even care why another man is wearing shorts? Like, how ridiculous is that? I thought that was very weird. It's just a very strange thing. That's the only time that's ever happened. Maybe other people have talked about me, but it didn't get back to me, But that's the first time that happened, the first and last time somebody ever cared that I was wearing shorts. And he thought I was trying to show my legs off, That's pretty funny. Oh, but one of the girls there that liked me told me, hey, nice work or whatever. Because I was working out at the time, and she was like, yeah, you have nice legs, so it's good that you wear shorts. She was kind of flirting with me or whatever, telling me a compliment. And maybe that's what triggered this guy, because he wouldn't get compliments because he's a fucking punk ass bitch, and nobody liked him. And they could see how fake he was, you know what I mean? And this fool's like having to hear all of these positive comments about me and about the other guys there, because there's other guys on the crew, and we actually worked out and lifted weights as well. But we would get compliments and he wouldn't, because he's a bitch. And so that's his own fault though, and if I wish this guy could decipher and listen and find this podcast and hear this and know that I am still here. I'm still getting compliments by the ladies, and I don't work in retail. And I'll fight you. Anytime, anywhere, pal. You just name the time and place, I'll be there, man. I'll be there early. I'll show up early. Now, I might show up late. You don't know when I'm going to show up. Whenever I show up is a perfect time, because I don't mess around. You know what I mean? So if you're out there, you scumbag, hit me up. Yeah, hit me up. Hit me up in the comments if you want to fight. You name the time and place. I'll be there, buddy. You best believe it. Bet your bottom dollar. There was another story I wanted to share, but I think I might have forgotten what it was. It's not in the notes here. Not in the notes. I care about this show a lot. I care about you guys. And I prepare very detailed and meticulous notes for what's going to be spoken about. And I must have just thought about it and forgot to write it down. It's not here. Got some, what's in here? Corey Feldman news. We're not going to go over that today. The problem with being judgmental. There is no problem. Why did I write this? Oh, I'm reading it wrong. Yeah, judgmental. Yeah, that guy was being judgmental. But it wasn't a good judgment, though, because it's like he ended up looking bad for, he ended up looking insecure, and I ended up being the cool guy, the actual cool guy who didn't care. The actual James Dean. Because that's how I carry myself. Yeah, that's how I carry myself. I talk like this to people, and I smoke a cigarette, and I squint, and I don't let anything faze me, and I'm just sitting there working on my car, and I got grease on my hands. I'm wearing a white t-shirt. I got a roll of Lucky Strikes rolled up in my sleeve. That's just kind of the guy that I am. Nothing phases me, I just roll through life. I just stroll through life. And, every once in a while, the ladies are looking good. All the ladies want me. But every once in a while, I pick one of them out of the crowd. I say, come with me, toots. And then we roll away into the sunset in my hot rod car, listening to new wave, outrun electronic music from the 80s. But it's in the modern day 2000s, so, it's kind of like the movie Drive with Ryan Gosling. Yeah, that's how I carry myself, baby. And it always works every time, because everybody believes all the lies if you believe them. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will. If you're cool enough, you'll be cool still. you'll be able to complete the magnum opus. You'll be cool enough and all the doors will be open. This has been another episode of Scroll Sessions. Thank you for joining me, and please hit that like button. Hit that like button like you haven't hit something in years, like you've been just building up this tension and you just that's how you should hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? And also, where you're at it, hit that subscribe button the same way. But make sure you don't hit it twice, because then you'll unsubscribe. You know what I mean? Maybe you should delicately caress the subscribe button. Click. You know, because I can't do it without you. I'm trying to sell ads on this motherfucking station, man. On this YouTube channel. Come on, man. Let's get 1,000. Let's get 1,000. Let's try to get that number to 1,000. That's the goal. I'm being serious, folks. I love you guys. And I know that you guys can do it. I know I can do it, maybe. But when I have you guys behind me, it's full confidence. I know 100% I can do it. You guys give me the confidence that I need. You know, I have a little bit of confidence to get me up there through the door, but you guys just push me through all the way to Valhalla, to Nirvana, to enlightenment, to being a bodhisattva. And I thank you for that. And I appreciate you watching all the time. Goodbye.